Hello everyone, it is Anker, so welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Go. Very excited for this one. Not using the new camera, that is this one right here. Instead went back to the old one. I just kind of noticed that I like the quality a little bit better on the old one for indoor recording. The new camera is mostly going to be used outdoors. But for this video, I wanted to sit down, give you guys my ultimate guide on how to get a lot of experience in Pokemon Go, how to hit level 40, get a lot of Stardust, all that sort of stuff. Mostly management issues in general, but giving you some basic handles to hold on to kind of have that knowledge on how to get a lot of experience in Pokemon Go. If you're new to the channel, you have no idea who I am or what I do. I love getting experience in Pokemon Go. I just love seeing that number going up. I'm currently at 113 million experience. Hitting level 40 in Pokemon Go requires you only 20. So I've done it 5 times. So I've been playing a lot. So maybe you're interested in my statistics by any chance, just breezing through them. 97,000 catches, 16,000 evolutions, almost 5,000 egg hatches, 80,000 spins on Pokestops. Got my tiny Rattatas, got most of them gold really unknowns by trading, of course. 1200 legendary raids. I do a lot of raid trains, which means doing a lot of raids together with people, getting like a bus or a couple of cars and going raid by raid by raid. So yeah, Ace Trainer, unfortunately, that's a really unfortunate story for a different video. But yeah, these are some of my statistics. I want to start off very basic with the capture of a Pokemon. So I bring up this lantern. And the one thing I always focus on is trying to capture the Pokemon on the first throw, because that's 50 experience, but always with a great catch. So the circle needs to be sort of in the middle, and then I always use a curve, like spinning it like this. Now you guys saw I have 97,000 experience. If you don't curve, you're not gonna get 10 experience per capture. You might be thinking it's only 10, but times 90,000 is 900,000 experience. It really adds up. Throw it like this, get the great. If I capture this, which I probably will, it will be 210 experience for the first throw, the great ball, the capture on itself, and 10 experience for the curveball is 210. So that really adds up. Also, evolutions will give you phase 1 evolutions, like Lantern is the second form. It will give you 5 candy, and the third evolution like Pidgeot, Charizard, Blastoise will give you 10 candy for that capture. But in this case, 210 experience. That brings me to my next point. Getting candy for Pokemon is very important. 2 of your best friends in Pokemon Go. For experience then. Lucky eggs and pineapples. Pineapple berries, of course from a pineapple, not pinap. It's pineapple. Will give you 6 candy for a basic Pokemon capture. Now, in Pokemon Go there's 5 kings. The 5 kings are Pidgey, Caterpie, Weedle, Whismur, and Wurmple. You basically want to be focusing on your king. In this case, for me, it is Pidgey, and I do have an Exploud here for Wurmple. With Pidgey and Wurmple, those 2 in general everywhere will spawn the most. And if you use a pineapple on the Pokemon right here, picture this. An evolution requires 12 candy for Pidgey, right? So using that pineapple is half the work done towards that evolution. An evolution will also give you 500 experience. You use a lucky egg and doing a mass spree gives you 1,000 per evolution. With a double experience event, it's gonna add up, guys. That means that a pineapple at that point, alongside with that Pidgey, is worth 1,000 experience per capture. You wanna be focusing on these Pokemon if you wanna get a lot of experience through evolution. Now, there's a cool trick that I want to share with you guys. And basically you can see all the Pokemon you got enough candy for to evolve by typing in evolve. It's that simple. It shows all the Pokemon you got enough candy for to evolve. You can also sort by numbers, so it goes by Pokédex entry. And you can see it stacks up all the Pokemon together. I find that helps for me. You can also search for all the names if you really desire to do so. So definitely, especially when you save up these Pokemon, like you save up a bunch of Pidgey, you save up a bunch of Weedle, a bunch of Whismur, it really helps out using this trick. And then just going on an evolve tree, you want to evolve, press. It's a very boring and tedious process, but it gives you so much experience in the game and it really helps out. On to the next one. The one that really helps, obviously, Doing raids. Raids help out so much. It gives you so much experience. Level 1 raid, which is like a very basic one. Everybody can solo that Pokemon. Will give you 3,000 experience. A level 2 with 2 heads at the top will give you 3,500. A level 4, in this case the Marowak is a level 4 raid, will give you 5,000. Level 3 like a Machamp will give you 4,000. A legendary is gonna give you 10,000. Now picture this. 10,000 experience is so much experience. Especially with the Lucky Egg-on, it's gonna double. 20,000. And then with the double experience events for raids, it is 40,000 experience. 40,000 experience! You do 500 legendary raids and you're level 20, you're done. But there's a better way to get yourself experience in Pokemon Go. And that is the new feature that recently got released, the Friendship. The Friendship feature is so crazy in terms of experience. Everybody can hit level 40 in 3 months. Like, you need a friend. Brandon, Mystic 7. Get from good friend to ultra friend takes 90 days. So if you send a lot of gifts to people you add to your friend list, you're gonna be getting yourself 160,000 experience. 10,000 from great friend, 50,000 from ultra friend, 100,000 from best friends. You use a Lucky Egg, you double this amount. It's 320,000, but usually on ultra friend and best friend you would. That would be 300,000 experience for this alone, these steps. You do this with 100 friends, 125 friends, and you're way past level 40, right? So this is, you really want to be focusing on friends. So if you need friends in Pokemon Go, go down to the comment section down below. Type in your friend code in the comments. I'm gonna allow it for this video. It's an open friend zone code. Do your friend code, put it in there with your location. If someone's interested, reply to their comment and then give your location in the comment as well. So that way the person knows who you are, right? That way they know their location, they know to accept. Send each other gifts, but there's another trick to it. Communicate with friends you know in real life. Basically, try to make sure that you coordinate whenever you go to Ultra Friend or Best Friend, so that way both of you can use a Lucky Egg in these instances. It is such an effective way to get so much experience in Pokemon Go. It's actually really crazy. Another cool way to get a lot of experience in Pokemon Go that really helps out is the Pokemon Go Plus. The Pokemon Go Plus device. They sell them for like, what is it, 35, 40 bucks. I would only advise using this if you play Pokemon Go like a lot, like more than an hour a day, every single day. And if you travel a lot, this is really helpful as well, especially during cities. It basically, if you press the little button, it's gonna capture a Pokemon for you. If it lits green, if it lits blue, it's gonna spin a Pokestop for you. There's also the Gocha, which you can use. I don't have one here, but it's basically an auto catcher. I basically, what I do on iOS is I use this, this is kind of a life hack. I use this clip and I press this on there. This only works for iOS and it will just automatically capture stuff for me. So you can go ahead and do that as well. The one downside to that is that you need a bunch of Pokeballs in order to make that work, because it's gonna capture a Pokemon for you. And on top of that, if a Pokemon runs away, it's gonna give you 25 experience as well. So, you know, it's a cool way of getting experience as well. The next thing I'm gonna be talking about is Pokecoins. Now, you can buy Pokecoins in the game. I've got myself quite a few Pokecoins, 50,000, because there was an iTunes deal, which basically was like $85 for 100 bucks iTunes. I know I'm gonna spend anyway, so I just did that deal, got myself the Pokecoins for sales that are gonna be happening in the future. Now, you might be not ever spending a single dime in Pokemon Go, which I understand and I respect fully. Here's what you do. You take down gyms. You make sure that you hit the limit of 50 Pokecoins a day. You do that by having the gym in your possession for X amount of time. Basically, the way it works, the formula is every 10 minutes, you have the gym in your possession, it's going to generate 1 Pokecoin. And then, if you got taken out, it's going to give you all the Pokecoins that's saved up. So you want to make sure that you have enough gyms in your area that will give you that possibility. So in my case, I have like 6 gyms here, which is really cool. If I have all of those 6 gyms for a couple of hours, it's gonna give me 50 Pokecoins. That's a really great way of doing it. Now, the reason why I'm mentioning this is if I were to be a free-to-play player, my main goal would be to get those 50 Pokecoins per day, right? And it's really gonna add up long term. If you take 30 days of 50 Pokecoins a day, that is 1,500 Pokecoins. and 1500 Pokecoins is an Ultra Box. So all you do is every single day you get those 50 Pokecoins. Then whenever there's a really good sale that gives you a lot of raid passes or a lot of star pieces or a lot of lucky eggs, basically what you are interested in, you buy these Ultra Boxes. So that's how it works. That's how you really can utilize your Pokecoins in the best way for free-to-play players. Once again, not everybody has the capability of spending a lot of money on Pokecoins. If you don't have the means of doing that, you work with what you got, and that is making sure that every single day you get those 50 Pokecoins, because long term it's really gonna add up. After a year you got yourself $100 worth of Pokecoins, even more than that. So definitely invest your time to get those gems, because it's really gonna pay out long term. The next thing I want to talk about is having enough space in your storage, so that way you can actually save up these Pokemon for evolution sprees during double experience events. So there's a couple of like filtering ways of making sure that you transfer the Pokemon that you don't really need. The first filter would be lucky Pokemon. You really gotta kind of think about like, hey, the Pokemon is lucky, but will I keep this Pokemon? Will I save this Pokemon? Is it a shiny? Is it really that significant that I'm gonna invest precious Stardust in this Pokemon? Or am I holding on to this Pokemon because it's kinda cool? I mean, if it's kinda cool, you can keep it, but long term, if you have a lot of these cool Pokemon, you're gonna shoot yourself in the foot, and you don't wanna do that. So I'm very strict on the things that I do, right? I transfer a bunch of shiny Pokemon. I mean, this one certainly caught my attention. It is a shiny, it is cool, but long term, I know it's gonna bother me if I have these Pokemon in my storage. So if this Pokemon is not like a wonder or like 15 attack and a wonder or something like that, and it's a shiny, there's no point keeping it. So I'm just gonna transfer them, you know? And that's kind of my rule of thumb there. Shinies are cool, but every single community day, most of us are gonna get more than 5 shinies. So are you gonna hold on to these 5 shinies every single community day? In 1 year you got yourself like 60 Pokemon that you probably are never really gonna be using just because you wanna have that shiny. I mean, it is cool, but in the end of the day, in the Pokedex, you already see the shiny, and if it's a lucky Pokemon, you see them there anyway. So if you're never really gonna use them, it is just sitting there gathering dust. Which is cool if you want to trade them and try to get yourself a higher IV one, but realistically, are you really gonna be keeping that Pokemon? If the answer to the question is no, why don't you just transfer it? I mean, if it has sentimental value, like for instance I have one Alakazam, right? I got from Japan. That has a lot of meaning to me. I want to keep that because that is cool for that reason. But there's, you know, you gotta have to decide this one for yourself. I'm not really gonna make the rules for you, but that's kind of how I keep my storage as clean as I possibly can. So hopefully that helps out, especially like keeping high IV Pokemon. It's cool and all, but like, are you really gonna like invest a lot of dust in these Pokemon? If you are sure that for certain Pokemon you're never gonna be investing any sort of dust in these Pokemon, you just transfer these Pokemon, man. Like, I'm not gonna max this one out. That's a lot of dust, you know? And that brings me to my next subject. The next subject is obviously gonna be Stardust. How do you save Stardust? How do you manage Stardust? It's usually saving up Stardust is really tough to do, because a lot of us have like a hole in our hand and we just like spend dust as if it's nothing, leaving nothing for us. But for me, I'm really strict. I have a clear goal. I want to get 10 million dust, and I'm not gonna spend any dust unless there's a couple of things that will be happening. For instance, this Raikou that I got through Research Breakthrough turns out to be a 98%. At one point, I'm definitely gonna be maxing this one out. But other Pokemon, I named them all off limits. All the Pokemon that I'm interested in, I called them off limits, kinda to remind myself, hey, these are Pokemon I'm gonna at one point max out because they're cool and they're 100% IV, like this Ditto, for example. I'm gonna max this out. This 100% IV, I wanna max it out. I want a cool Ditto. But I also have only 3.4 million dust. If I'm gonna max all of these out, I will have nothing left. What if a new generation drops and you want to get yourself a cool Pokemon, right? You always want to have like some sort of leverage, which in my case is 10 million dust. Like, that might be seeming like a lot for you guys, but the #1 player in the world, Brandon Tan, has 70 million dust because he only invests into Pokemon that are really relevant to him, right? So that's one thing you can do. Another thing I want to really like give you some logical reasoning I want to share with you, right? A lot of you power up a Pokemon because you're like, yeah, it's gonna replace that one Pokemon in my team. Here's what you gotta keep in mind. During a raid or during gym battles, that's the only reason as to why you should invest Stardust into Pokemon. It's to make your team stronger. But in a lot of cases, powering up that particular Pokemon, like let's say if you got a team of 6 Vaporeon and you got it maxed out, and then you're like, oh, but Gyarados is a little bit of a better attacker. Consider this. Is it worth it to invest 250,000 Stardust into maxing out a Pokemon just so you are able to take down a Pokemon 1 to 5 seconds faster, or is that not worth it to you? So you gotta really make sure if you got like strong Pokemon in general. Like, I got some pretty strong Pokemon right now. I got 6 Kyogre, got them maxed out. I know it's the best water Pokemon by far. I'm not gonna invest into any other water Pokemon, no matter what the reason is. Groudon, best ground type ever. I got a couple of Tyranitars. You know, I could invest into a Tyranitar with Smackdown and max that out. But realistically, I do have a good Golem, and the Tyranitar would only take down a Pokemon like 3 seconds faster. I'm not gonna max out the Tyranitar with Smackdown for that reason, because I just don't think that is worth it. I mean, Golem on itself is still a really good Pokemon as well. So those are kind of the things you want to be keeping in mind for using Stardust. Is it really worth it to save up the dust, to use the dust on the Pokemon for just a couple of seconds of being faster in the takedown? And this is mostly just guidance for people who have who are like level 40, got a lot of Pokemon out there. I mean, if you got like Pokemon that don't nearly look like as high CP as this, then yeah, for sure. Like, if you're like level 32 and you wanna max out like a cool Vaporeon or a cool legendary, by all means go for it. But if you're like level 40 like I am, and you do have all these Pokemon, you wanna really think twice about maxing out like another Mewtwo or another Ho-Oh or another Rayquaza. You know, usually it's never really worth it at the end of the day, because the Pokemon you already got, they're already sufficient. I got a team of 6 Machamp that I got maxed out. Should I max out another one? Should I replace Stannis because it's not 100%? Because I just so happened to find myself 100% IV Machamp or Machop to invest into that again just to shave up 1 second? Nah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm good, you know. So only if you have like the luxury of having like 20 million Stardust, which not a lot of us have, I would not really consider any of those kind of things. So I hope that kind of, you know, gives you some perspective. Obviously, if there's double Stardust, you want to be using a star piece to enhance especially during triple Stardust for a capture during community days or very soon after your Cold Scouts ending. You're going to be getting yourself a lot of dust for just a single capture. Then it's worth it to use Stardust. But Stardust mostly isn't a matter of how do I get it quickly, it's mostly a matter of don't spend it, because you don't have to, really. When you think about it, you usually don't have to. And on that note, I'm gonna wrap things off here. I hope this guide, or just my ultimate guide with just knowledge in general, proves to be helpful. If you got tips of your own, make sure you let us know down in the comment section down below, because I'm pretty sure I probably missed out on something. There's obvious more efficient ways on how to get experience, but this is just like a rough guideline of sorts to help you guys out if you need it. That being said though, I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. Hope that you guys enjoyed this guide. If this was helpful in any way, shape or form, make sure you let me know in the comments below, as well as leaving a thumbs up while you're at it. And that being said, this has been Reverse for Pokemon Go. I'm gonna be signing off, and I'll see you guys in the next one.